Hey guys, Extermicide here with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare Best Class Setup Guide. This is a series where I share with you the absolute best setup for various guns without all the fluff and over-the-top information that you don't really care about. I'm a bit late getting my guides posted compared to other YouTubers with good reason. I wanted to max out every gun so I could give you all an honest and informed analysis of these guns and my attachments and loadouts for them. I may not be the first to get the info out there, but I can promise you I've done my research. But keep in mind that these are my viewpoints and maybe you will and maybe you won't agree or disagree with them. And that's fine. I won't be getting overly technical by supplying statistics in these guides. Every time Modern Warfare receives a new patch and a weapon gets buffed or nerfed, those numbers change. So I'm not going to waste my time and yours giving you information that is going to end up being inaccurate in about a month's time. I stick with the basic type of rating, yes it's good or no it sucks. With all that out of the way, let's get started. So in today's best setup we are talking about the ISO or ISO SMG. Available at tier 15 of the Season 5 Battle Pass, the ISO SMG is a strange beast that tries to become a better version of the Fennec, aka the Vector. And it actually does achieve that goal in a couple of ways, that being it hits harder than the Fennec, and it excels at close range, mid-range, and even long range. You heard that correctly, an SMG that can do long shots. On paper, the ISO is overly unimpressive. It contains a lot of downsides including low damage per shot, slow time to kill, a small ammo magazine, high recoil, and bad iron sights. But all these downsides are very slight. I mean, yes, its time to kill is slower, but only by a couple milliseconds. Its damage per shot is lower, but only slightly, and so on and so on. Overall, the ISO is slightly below average in every way, but still very usable. Sometimes you have to push the stats to the side and go for the gun that feels natural and good in your hands, and for some people the ISO is gonna be that gun. The ISO is very much on par with the P90, the MP7, and the Fennec, so if you're a fan of any of those guns, you might really end up liking the ISO with the setup that I'm gonna give you. Now one thing that needs to be noted is that this setup is technically a 7 attachment build. You heard that right, 7 attachments. And with 7 attachments on one gun, this thing becomes a beast of an SMG with no recoil, large amounts of ammo, superb accuracy, and long-ranged abilities. But in order to achieve this, you will have to follow this complete setup to the letter, including the loadout settings. So what's my personal thoughts of this gun? Well, I think it's pretty good. Not great, but good. This setup gives the gun a hit to mobility, which isn't that big of a deal. But it does lend itself to being a gun that will work better for people with a slow to moderate speed level. If you're one of those uber fast guys that's constantly running and gunning, then this gun will not be a fit for your playstyle. But a slower to moderate speed player will love this gun, especially when doing the long shots. It's a good gun in both core gameplay and in Warzone. However, I would personally choose a different gun in Warzone as both ammo and mobility of the ISO can become problematic. This setup improves upon the ISO's accuracy, range, fire rate, and control while dealing a hit to mobility. So with that said, let's take a look at my go-to loadout for this particular submachine gun. Alright, so let's dive into this. Now, if you recall, I said that this is a 7 attachment gun, technically. And I'm doing little air quotes in the air. Technically, it's a 7 attachment gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count them out as I'm selecting them so you know exactly where I'm coming from with that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to barrel. And with the barrel, we're going to go with the FSS Nightshade. Okay, this is going to increase our damage range, our recoil control, our bullet velocity, and our sound suppression. This is a combination muzzle barrel. It's 2 attachments in one. So it's too good to pass up. And you see now that muzzle is blocked by the FSS Nightshade because it's already considered a muzzle. So right there we have our muzzle and our barrel in one go. So that counts as 2 attachments. Next we're going to go with optic. Optic is a personal choice. You can choose anything you want. I personally like to bounce between something like the GI Mini Reflex on smaller maps or the VLK 3.0 if I'm going to be shooting from range. Again, it's a personal choice. Choose what you want. and that counts as number 3. Next we're going to go to underbarrel, and we're going to select the Merc foregrip for recoil control and hipfire accuracy, number 4. Then we're going to skip next door to ammunition for number 5, and we're going to go full out 50 round drum mags. This weapon suffers tremendously from a lack of ammo, and the 50 round drum is just, it's needed. There's no getting around it. You have to have the 50 round drums. And for number 6, we're going to go with a perk, and we're going to go with sleight of hand so we can reload quicker. So as I said, it's a 7 attachment gun. We now have 6 attachments. Let's go to the next part and get our last attachment and choose a perfect loadout for this gun. Now this is the part of the video where I usually preach about how you should modify my loadout here to make it your own, and I still stand by that. You should always freaking change any YouTuber's loadout to make it personal for yourself, because only you know what your strengths are. With that said, however, if you want to gain the 7th attachment, you have to go with the specific secondary weapon here, which I have the M19. You can go with the Renetti or the M19. Both of them share the same exact ammo as the ISO. Okay, so you can see where I'm going with this. Equip the M19. I choose the M19 because when you choose the extended mags, it has more ammo than the Renetti. So it's just a better fit. When you equip the M19, make sure that in its setup, you choose fully loaded as the perk. This will allow the M19 to gain additional ammo when you log in. And you'll have like 200 rounds of the ammo instead of 60. And again, the ISO uses the same exact ammo as the M19. So, you're actually getting another perk with the ISO. You're logging in with full ammo because you have the M19 that uses the same ammo with the fully loaded perk. So that's the only thing about this setup, this particular setup I wouldn't change unless for some reason you want to, then go ahead and make it your own. But being able to log in to the core gameplay or into Warzone with the full amount of ammo is great. It's another freebie on the ISO gun. So make it your own. And that brings us to our question of the day. Okay. Alrighty. So let me know your answer in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. And with that said, if anything in the video helped you out at all, then please throw the video a like. And if you want to see other videos by me, throw me a sub. Anyways, until next time, be good to one another. Extermicide out.